On August 12, 2025, a shot was fired in Silicon Valley. But it wasn't a product launch or a flashy keynote. It was an email, an unsolicited, all-cash offer of $34.5 billion. The sender? A 3-year-old AI startup called Perplexity, valued at about half the offer price. The recipient? The $2 trillion behemoth, Alphabet, parent company of Google. And the target? The single most valuable piece of digital real estate on the planet. The Google Chrome browser, the front door to the internet for over 3 billion people. On the surface, it looks absurd. A lowball offer that Google would never accept. A move so audacious, analysts immediately screamed, PR stunt. And they're not entirely wrong. But if you look closer, past the headline-grabbing number, you'll see this isn't just a business proposal. It's a masterfully timed move on a global chessboard. It's a legal brief disguised as a buyout. And it raises a much bigger question, one that affects every single one of us who uses the internet. Is this just another chapter in the endless war for tech dominance? Or is Perplexity's Gambit something more, a business case for a new kind of digital democracy? Welcome to another episode of Business Autopsy. Today we will analyze the Perplexity's Chrome strategy. To understand how wild this offer is, you have to look at the terms. Yes, there's the $34.5 billion in cash. Perplexity says it has the backing of large, unnamed investment funds. But the real genius is in the fine print. Perplexity made a series of promises designed to sound incredibly reasonable. First, they pledged to inject $3 billion over 2 years directly into Chrome's development. Second, an ironclad vow to keep the underlying code, Chromium, open source. This is huge. Chromium is the foundation not just for Chrome, but for Microsoft Edge, Brave, and dozens of other browsers. Perplexity was telling the entire industry, we won't lock you out. And then came the most brilliant, most paradoxical promise of all. They would make no changes to Google remaining Chrome's default search engine. Think about that. A rival search company, whose entire mission is to beat Google, offers to buy Google's biggest distribution channel, and then promises to keep sending traffic to Google. It sounds like a terrible business plan, but it's a brilliant legal one. Because this bid was never really for Google's board of directors. Its true audience was one man, U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta. You see, this whole drama is playing out in the shadow of a monumental antitrust case. In 2024, Judge Mehta found that Google had acted as an illegal monopolist to protect its dominance in search. The case then entered the remedy phase, where the judge decides how to punish Google and restore competition. The U.S. Department of Justice proposed its most radical solution, force Google to sell Chrome. The DOJ argued that Chrome is a critical search access point that Google uses to illegally prop up its monopoly. Google's defense was predictable. They argued a forced sale would be chaotic, harm users, and degrade security. And then, right on cue, Perplexity steps forward. Their offer letter explicitly states the bid is designed to satisfy an antitrust remedy in highest public interest by placing Chrome with a capable, independent operator. Suddenly, the DOJ's argument doesn't seem so theoretical. Here is a capable operator, with funded backing, promising to keep things stable. Perplexity gave the judge a real-world example of how a divestiture could work, making it much harder for him to dismiss the idea. It was a masterclass in legal and political maneuvering. But this isn't just about corporate chess. The conflict between Perplexity and Google represents a fundamental clash of philosophies about what the internet should be. It's a battle between a search engine and an answer engine. For 20 years, Google has been the world's librarian. But it's a specific kind of librarian. You ask a question, and it points you to the right aisle, giving you a list of 10 blue links where you might find the answer. Its business model depends on you clicking those links, especially the sponsored ones at the top. This model, powered by a $170 billion a year ad machine, has led to the internet we know today, a landscape cluttered with ads and content optimized for algorithms, not for humans. Perplexity wants to be a different kind of librarian, one that reads all the relevant books for you, synthesizes the information, and hands you a neat, direct summary with footnotes telling you exactly where the information came from. It's an answer engine. For complex research, it's a game changer. It bypasses the SEO swamp and just gives you the answer. And this exposes Google's greatest vulnerability, what business strategists call the innovator's dilemma. The very thing that makes Perplexity's user experience compelling, providing direct answers, is the one thing that threatens to destroy Google's advertising empire. Every direct answer is one less click on a high-value ad. Google is financially trapped. It can't fully embrace the future without cannibalizing its present. Perplexity has no such baggage. It has no legacy ad business to protect. This is where the case for digital democracy begins to take shape. Is an internet where the best information surfaces based on relevance and verifiable sources more democratic than one where visibility is determined by ad spend and SEO rankings? Perplexity is betting that it is. Their model challenges the core assumption that the web must be funded by harvesting our attention and data for advertisers. By providing clear citations for its answers, Perplexity introduces a level of transparency that Google's AI overviews often lack. It's a shift from trust the black box algorithm to here are the facts, and here's where we got them. This is a profound change in our relationship with information. For many, this approach is a breath of fresh air. Users doing deep academic or technical research consistently find Perplexity outperforms Google, pulling from academic papers and trade reports instead of just SEO-heavy blogs. But this new model also poses an existential threat to the millions of publishers and content creators whose businesses rely on Google's traffic. If users get their answers without clicking, the whole model of the open web, funded by ad-supported content, could crumble. So where does this leave us? Is Perplexity's bid a genuine offer or just a brilliant PR stunt? The most accurate answer is, it's both. It's a quantum strategy, existing in two states at once. The stunt is the execution. In one move, Perplexity has generated more brand awareness than billions in marketing dollars ever could. They've pushed their own AI browser, Comet, into the spotlight. And they've successfully framed themselves as the David to Google's Goliath. These are concrete wins, regardless of the outcome. Ultimately, Perplexity's bid for Chrome is more than a financial maneuver. It's a catalyst. It has served as a wake-up call for the entire industry, dragging the browser back to the center of the tech universe. The new browser wars have begun, and this time, they're being fought with artificial intelligence. The bid forces us all to confront a difficult question about the internet's future. For 2 decades, we've lived under a single, dominant model of information access, one that is incredibly powerful but also centralized, opaque, and driven by advertising. Perplexity's strategy, whether you see it as a noble crusade or a cynical power play, presents a compelling alternative. A vision of the web where access to information is more direct, more transparent, and less beholden to the demands of advertisers. A digital democracy where the quality of an answer matters more than the ranking of a link. The fate of Chrome is still undecided, but the conversation has been irrevocably changed. Perplexity didn't just make a bid for a browser. They made a bid to redefine the rules of the internet itself. And that's a conversation worth having. So what do you think? Is this the disruption the internet needs? Or is it just another would-be king trying to seize the throne? Let me know in the comments.